What's good? Welcome back to the channel, guys. In today's video, going to be showcasing Anonymous's Valkyrie Root Rider smash attack again. He had another massive 7 triple day, very high up in Legends League. Finished yesterday top 1K, including a triple on Itsu. Let's get right into the action. Alright, on this first attack, we're going to show Itsu's base that Anonymous 3-starred, and I know on this one he pulled a couple Seeking Air Mines with his rocket loons going down towards that wizard tower that normal balloons and more than likely a lava hound would not have found. So if he would not have found those two Seeking Air Mines, that blimp would not have gotten where he wanted it to get, on top of the ricochet cannon where he can get this value, pulling the CC, getting the enemy queen, and take it down the town hall. He was a tad risky pulling the CC early, because sometimes, you know, your super archers end up targeting them as they go through, or if your archers would have lived a little bit longer, your super archers end up outside your invisibility spells because they run towards the CC. So just be careful with that. He actually did a good job. It's just a little risky, so just be careful with that if you're trying to do that while your super archers are still taking on the town hall. Now we're going to start with the main army down here at 5 o'clock, pushing in Root Riders and the heroes. Another Root Rider down at 6 o'clock with a Headhunter to take out the king. And we're going to push in right on top of the eagle in this single. Only thing on the back half we're going to have to really worry about is the monolith. And we have a whole herd of Valkyries that formed up together, cutting through everything at the top part of the base. Going to use that Warden ability to get through that Eagle Artillery Blast and a couple other things. Find the Tornado Trap, so we're not going to have to worry about that later on. That Tornado Trap was in a great place right next to the Town Hall. Just the Rocket Loons allowed Anonymous to get right where he wanted to get with his blimp, and that's what set up this entire attack. If those Seeking Air Mines take out that blimp outside the walls right there, this attack probably isn't nearly as successful. It might still triple, but it would be a lot harder to get the triple done if you're not cleaning up that part of the base, taking out the town hall, forming the massive funnel that you do form, and allowing you to take out the CC as well before you move on to the main part of the attack. But we still have 2 hero abilities, a couple Root Riders living, a full health Warden as well as we push through. Only 10% left of this base, so Anonymous with a near perfect attack, taking out this base and getting the 3-star. Alright, on this second attack, we have this cross-style base with the town hall on the right portion of the base. Got the Eagle, Monolith, and a couple singles, ricochet cannons, air sweepers are all pointed the same direction. Not a whole lot of value with the town hall. Got the CC in range, got a visibility tower in range as well. So see what Anonymous does on this base. Going to use all 4 rocket loons up top, and then use the blimp over more diagonal to get close to this expo. Don't quite get the blimp. I don't think quite got the blimp as far as we wanted, because the super wall breaker broke a wall right next to it where that super archer tower was. But we should still be able to get the town hall with these super archers. Gonna get the invisibility tower to go off. Gonna get the archer queen down as far as another couple buildings too. Pull some of the CC as well. Got one of the ricochet cannons, which is value. And then we're going to get the town hall as well, which is going to be huge. We do get the town hall. They started targeting other things there for a second. I got a little nervous for him. I didn't think the town hall was going to go down, but some of the other super archers end up walking up north a little bit. So they're going to actually work on the enemy CC here. Use some Valkyries for some funneling purposes. And then we got our L-shaped funnel combined. We're going to push this main army into these single target infernos, into the monolith, into the eagle, and into the remaining heroes. With our heroes, Root Riders, and the Valkyries that we can get inside that main army as well. Super Archers are going to clean up the... Super Archers and Valkyries end up cleaning up the CC, so we don't have to worry about it with the main army. That's so huge when you got Ice Golems and the CC. If you can get the Ice Golems cleaned up away from your main army, that is huge value. I know in the last video we posted on his attacks, somebody made the comment that we were taking too long to get the CC taken care of. But if you could get the CC away from your main army, and your main army doesn't need but a minute and a half to get the attack done, go ahead and take that extra 10 seconds to get the CC away from your main army. That way you don't have to worry about all of your troops being frozen 3 times underneath the single target Inferno, underneath the Eagle, underneath the Monolith, and then you're having to pop your Warden ability earlier than you want to, and you're just losing all of your army before you even get halfway through the base. And that's obviously not what we want. Are gonna have to deal with this last single, and we got that targeting the Archer Queen. Gonna go ahead and pop her ability before that single charges up. But at this point, all that's left is clean up Archer Tower and a Builder Hut and a mortar left, and we're just picking up loot at this point. Another solid plan and a smashed base by Anonymous. On this next base, we have a very similar one to the second attack. Almost identical, but that Town Hall compartment is a little bit different as far as buildings in there. We're going to use the rocket loons to get the sweepers to target them and get this blimp right on top of the ricochet cannon compartment. And we're going to use some archers to pull out the CC a little bit ahead of time. And this is what I talked about in the first attack. You got to be a little careful with that, because sometimes your super archers will walk and target them. So a couple of them did, but most of them stayed where they needed to stay. End up taking down the Eagle as well. So we pick up some huge value. We're 30% of the base already complete. We got the CC handled. We got a ricochet cannon. We got the Eagle and Monolith, and we got some other major buildings taken down as well. 2 Infernos. And now we got the 4 Expos, we got the heroes to worry about, and a single target Inferno in the Town Hall. So once we get pushed up into this middle part of the base, we can pop that Warden ability and just end up walking through this base very fast. This was almost a sub 2-minute attack. Anonymous just absolutely crushed this base without even really thinking about it. It was just destroyed. So we got the Healing Tome. I will say the Healing Tome on the Warden with this attack without the healers, it definitely seems a little busted. Like the Healing Tome does some work. It don't have to worry about the healers targeting just 1 or 2 troops, and you get the Healing Tome to just hit the entire field of troops that you got. Helps keep them healed through the poison. You know, the Healing Tome doesn't slow down just because the Warden's poisoned, but when the healers are poisoned, the healing slows down, and the healers ultimately end up going down because they just can't live through the Town Hall poison. At least my healers can't. They always end up going down through the Town Hall poison. There's just 1 or 2 red bombs near it as well. And you had a herd of Valkyries make it all the way around the base, help clean up the outside. Alright, on this next base, we have pretty much another similar base, just Town Hall compartment's a little different again. A lot of these cross-style bases, box-style bases, they all start looking the same after a while, but a lot of them are just barely different, which causes some of the defenses and traps to be in different places. You got to be really careful. We're going to drop this Sarch right inside this wall, and notice how he uses the clones sideways and not the clones forward. You know, he's not cloning towards the Town Hall just because he doesn't want to find extra traps than what he's already missed, you know. He uses the clones sideways on top of a building where there literally can't be traps because a building was placed there. So that's just kind of some high IQ play that you can work on with your clones when you're using this army or using Blizzard. So we're gonna use a couple Valkyries, clean up a little area, drop these main root riders right inside the Queen. And we got the Apprentice Warden and the Warden with the healing, extra health, and the heroes going in as well. Headhunter for the King. And we're just going to push through this main part of the base, which is a couple singles, Monolith, the Eagle Artillery, the CC, pretty much everything on this side of the base we're going to have to worry about. Going to get a little slowed down by the Ice Golem, and a perfectly timed Warden ability going into this Eagle, the Multi, the Monolith, everything was kind of firing at the army, and we used that Warden ability to stay healed up. And then that Healing Tome is doing some work as well, keeping this army as healthy as possible, pushing through this part of the base where all the major hitting defenses are, because once we get through this, there ain't a whole lot left besides the Scattershot and the RC standing over here by themselves. So this base is pretty much crushed. The Valkyries, I don't know how they live so long, to be honest. You know, they just live through everything. The Root Riders take the brunt of the damage, and the Valkyries just go through spinning the maxes and just destroying everything so quick. I mean, you just saw right there, they took that elixir storage down in 0.2 seconds. Valkyries are OP. Ran out of Root Riders, which is a little unfortunate, because now the Queen gets to spend 7 business days taking down a wall before she rejoins the army. And she stops right at the last second and decides to move on to the single. So we're going to use the Queen ability to take out the single, which is perfect. And we're going to end up smashing the rest of this base. Swagging the King ability. Might just use it to try to get through the wall. As we do, take down that Dark Elixir storage and move on with the triple. Alright, on this next base, we have this ring-style box base with a centralized Town Hall compartment with the monolith. Right above the Town Hall, we got the Poison Tower, some Builder Huts, Sweepers, CC, all in that Town Hall compartment. Gonna come down at 6 o'clock with the Rocket Loons and the Blimp. Probably try to just get it in between the Bomb Tower and Air Defense, I would assume. We probably don't want to try to land in that Town Hall compartment. There's gonna be plenty of traps in there. So we're gonna get the Sarch going, Clones and Rage, Invisibilities, get as much value as we possibly can. We do have some archers inside that Town Hall compartment, so we'll see with these last couple invisibilities. I don't know if they're gonna, they should target the Town Hall, but they're not gonna get the Town Hall down. Hopefully we get the Queen down though. That would be also clutch. We're not gonna quite get the Queen down, so we got the enemy CC to deal with as we start our main attack. But we do have a good funnel going. We got 25% of the base gone, and we're funneling right now, trying to get these ice golems over here with the Valkyrie. Gonna use an E-Mommy to take down the rocket balloon real quick, deal with these ice golems as fast as possible. Taking a little bit of time on this, but we end up not having a time fail. So we're gonna use the Root Riders up top, and the Ward's gonna walk with the... Okay, they turned. Whew. Took down that last building. They decided to turn back towards the main army, which is clutch, because I didn't think they were going to for a second. So gotta get the Ward up here with this healing tome with the main army. Gonna get with the Root Riders now. Got some Valkyries coming in as well. And we're just gonna push through now. The attack is on. We're gonna get these Root Riders going through this main compartment. Got a lot of heavy hitting defenses right here with the Town Hall. Notice how he's doing a good job with Valkyries on the outside. To keep this funnel going, keep this main army pushing down in towards that Town Hall compartment. Pop that Warden ability already so we don't take as much damage from that monolith. Did find the tornado trap. And then the RC is deployed to also keep those Root Riders going towards the big heavy hitting defenses. Have the RC take out like the mortar, the outside archer towers, the air defenses that are not going to do anything for you when they're destroyed. That way your main army can push towards the heavy hitting defenses that are actually going to do some damage on you. And we still got plenty of army left. Warden's doing a good job. Apprentice Warden's doing a good job keeping these troops healthy, keeping them with a little extra health. And this base is absolutely smashed. We're going to pick up that triple very easily on this one. Have plenty of army left. Alright, on this next base, we have another one of these box-style bases with the Town Hall compartment towards the right. We're going to use 2 Rocket Loons on 2 separate areas to get this Blimp where we want it. We're going to find a couple Seeking Air Mines on the way, which is awesome, because that means our Blimp is not finding those bombs. We're going to use the Clone sideways on top of the Expo Scattershot Builder Hut area, because we know there's no bombs underneath of it. So just better safe than sorry. And then we're going to pick up the value that we want, get some good defenses out of here, pick up a decent funnel, and we're going to take down the Town Hall and a Poison Tower as well. Actually get the Monolith as well, which is huge. So we're going to use a couple Valkyries to keep cleaning up here, a couple Root Riders to push down towards these first couple buildings. Some of the heroes are coming in, then we're going to use a couple more Root Riders and Valkyries right next to it to push into this other part of the base as we get this funnel going. Gonna find the enemy CC here, multi-towers. We're gonna find the Eagle Blast coming down and a Poison Tower. End up popping the Warden ability through the Poison and the Ice Golem Freeze. I gotta tell you, one of the most defeating things ever, which he actually got a little lucky here. Both Ice Golems died almost simultaneously. But one of the worst things ever is using your Warden ability when you had to get through 3 Ice Golems. That is just awful. Doesn't feel good at all. You don't pick up any value during that time where you're using one of your best hero abilities available. Root Rider is actually going to live long enough to open up this back compartment, which is awesome. Right before we lose the last Root Rider, going to open up the compartment to the RC Ricochet Cannon. And that way we can reach the backside Scattershot and Expo with the Queen as well. So at this point, not a whole lot of base left. Base is pretty much smashed. Still have 3 of our 4 heroes alive and another hero ability. That way we can get through the rest of this base. King is fighting on a wall now. Queen is also fighting on a wall. But we're going to avoid the time fail here because we don't got much left to take out. But a couple 3 buildings at the end. And we pick up the triple. Alright, on this last attack, we have a box-style centralized compartment base with the Town Hall. And we're going to use the rocket balloons over here on the left side of the base, about 8 o'clock. And be able to push in right on top of the Scattershot compartment. Super Wall Breaker is going to break through right where we want it to. Notice how we invisibility a little bit forward and clone a little bit forward just because we don't want to clone the sneaky the goblins, and we don't want to waste clone spots on the goblins. Super Archers are going to be in a perfect spot to take down the Town Hall and get some more value in here. Should even step up and target the Eagle, get some damage down on the Eagle. Not going to quite get that building down, but we do get some great funneling value. We pick up the CC, which we dragged out, and we're going to take out that rocket balloon with the E-Mommy, and Valkyries are going to take out the Ice Golems. Gonna start the main army over here at 9 o'clock with the Root Riders, Valkyries, and all of the heroes. Use one of our headhunters, take down that Barbarian King, and we're gonna push right into the center of this base. Find the Tornado Trap, but that's okay. Might pop the Ward ability here just to save the King from that single. Single actually goes down. We get to save the Ward ability for a long time here, which is awesome. Because we're going to not get damage to this spell tower. Ricochet Cannon's going to do nothing to us before we take it down. All those Scattershot blasts did nothing. Gotta deploy the RC up north. Gotta come down and help this funnel keep going. Push these Root Riders through the middle of the base. Pop that King ability so we can get some heavy damage in. Man, I can't wait for the King's Gauntlet to be back. I want that hero equipment so bad on my main account. That way I could just be as maxed out and as powerful as possible. It is definitely being missed. I really hope they add it back in. It's unfortunate I just wasn't playing the game during that time. Nothing I could do about it. I was just taking a break from the game pretty much all the way through Town Hall 15 and somewhat through the beginning of 16. And then I started playing again and just ended up loving what Supercell has done with the game so far for Town Hall 16, so I came right back to it. But yeah, Supercell, add back the King's Gauntlet so everybody can get that if they haven't gotten it already. Alright guys, that's going to do it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed the content. As always, appreciate you guys stopping in on an everyday basis and supporting the channel. Happy to bring you another 7 triple day by Anonymous using this Root Rider Valkyrie smash. He's basically perfected this attack and he's just annihilating bases with it. Super cool. Hope that he gets to finish in the top 1K Global and Legends League. We'll catch you next time.